Back at it again at H&A 2023. Super excited to have another one of our awesome sponsor reps in the booth. Preston Hardscape Design has been partnering with Unilock for several years now, and when we launched the Hardscape initiative, we knew we had to get Unilock on board again. And one of the biggest reasons I started using Unilock was because of the service that the representatives are providing on the field. So we're here with Andy today, one of the reps, and I'm super excited to have Andy in the booth because he knows exactly what it means to provide that service to his contractors, and I think that's a really good benefit and another resource to have when you go out and build these things is that contractor service department. So how's it going, Andy?
Great, man. I just want to say thank you, Dan, for having me on.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing for the Hardscape community. It's awesome to see, and I'm very happy and blessed to be a part of this and
thank you.
Be able to give back to the community as you do.
Yeah, no, it's a fun industry we're in, right?
100%.
Yeah, it's a fun industry we're in. So let's talk a little bit about why these guys shouldn't be scared to call out their salesmen, right?
I always say this, it's like, I love to get on job sites. My background's in the hardscape industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love seeing creativity. I love helping problem solve or find out solutions, design aspects. And I always tell my guys, like, call me, get me on site. I love to be on site. I want to help you out. I want to help your business grow.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most satisfying, rewarding things for me is seeing, especially the younger crowd of the contractors, seeing how they can progress and grow within their career. And then, the overall community is like, if you give back, the whole hardscape community is going to grow.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
a beautiful thing
We're all
to
in
watch.
this together, right?
100%.
To see more brick put on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
And to see it put on the ground correctly.
Yes.
Right, and that's where our initiative is with Hardscape Mentor, and that's where it is with these boots on the ground services. I always tell my members and students, it's like we are one resource for these contractors in the field, but your rep is another resource, and you're going to be out there. And anyone who's worked with maybe another manufacturer or even another product, they might not be familiar with that service that a rep can actually provide with industry experience.
100%.
I think that's half of it. And from my experiences and the reps I've dealt with at Unilock, you guys all have industry experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. And it's like we rely. You know what I'm saying? We have a big group. It's not just your local territory manager.
Yeah.
We have a big group of guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we can pull wealth of knowledge from.
Yeah.
We were talking about
Glenn Wiley,
Mark Sullivan, Bob DeRosa,
Yeah.
like all of their minds put together.
If you
it's
don't
like,
know a guy who's been there for 35 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like I always tell my guys, it's like, think of me as an extension of your business.
Yeah.
It's like we're here to help you.
Yeah.
We're here to help you grow.
Yeah.
Like we want to see good installs, whether it's, and I always tell guys, it's like, we're not a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Do you want install tips or techniques? Do you want design aspects?
Yeah.
Do you, like, whatever it is, we're going to have the resources,
Yeah.
boots on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
that's one thing that I pride myself in
Yeah.
is, like, I love working with my guys, and I
Yeah.
want to watch them succeed.
Yeah. You want to see where the products are going, and you want to see them be put in right. You don't want anyone to be hung up and get to a roadblock and not use your product again.
100%.
Right? So it's like, let's work through the things that might intimidate a contractor or something like that.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, there's certain products that might be intimidating. Like UCAR is an awesome system, but especially with the modular units, it's
Yeah.
like myself and Tim, my counterpart in Columbus,
Yeah.
we've got on site and helped build 10, 15 different UCAR fireplaces
Yeah.
here and just show guys like, holy cow, this is, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty simple once you start
we
moving
all
it.
work with bricks, blocks, stones, and rocks, like I say, but it's like a different application, kind of a new system. So I was doing this for 22 years, and I still called out Herb Hinch, my territory rep when I first built the UCAR system, because I know that you guys have the insight on how it's supposed to be built correctly, right? It's coming from you guys to the contractor, so you want it to be put in correctly, so it keeps going out there in the market. So don't be afraid to bring in those reps, and I think it's just maybe experience with other companies or other manufacturers where they're bringing out a rep and they don't have any experience in the field, or they can never get a hold of the guy.
Yeah.
Right. And those are things that we don't have to deal with.
Exactly. As I always say, like, it's like my phone's available. Some guys will be like, oh, I'm calling you at 4 o'clock. I'm sorry. I'm like, no, if you have a question, call me. Reach out. Like, this is what I'm here to help you.
We don't want problems to last longer.
Yeah.
Right. So
and that's where Unilock as a whole with the territory manager position. It's like our TMs, they're all so rock solid. They're ready to help guys. And we were talking earlier, it's like about my background a little bit in the hardscape industry.
Yeah.
It's where
Tell us a little bit about that. What led you to this Unilock a little bit, right?
So the funny story is what I got into the landscape industry was my dad had a rule. He goes, you play sports year round, you don't need to get a job, you're good, done.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up not wanting to run track.
Sure.
It was like my senior year, and he's like, get a job. I'm like, dude, I'm going to college in like a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
He's like, no, get a job.
Yeah.
So I got a job at a local distributor, is just running a forklift, just bagging mulch, you know what I'm saying, not much. And I saw all these guys come in, and I'm like, so I saved up a little bit of money. I think I had $2,000.
Yeah.
I bought a truck that leaked through the ceiling when it rained, and I had a couple shovels. And then
you were a landscaper.
Yeah, and I got into patio. I lucked. I was door knocking. That's how I got my first patio.
That's awesome.
And that's because we didn't have any work, and one of my high school buddies was working me like, let's go get some work.
That's really cool.
So door knock, the lady's like, can you do patios? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Never done a patio in my life.
That's the spirit. Yeah.
And it was that thankfully my dad's an engineer, so he was able to help me out on my first one.
You knew you had a resource. But
yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. The old YouTube University at first.
That's
but,
awesome. And now it's Hardscape Mentor, everybody. But yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But no, it's my big switch to Unilock was the manufacturer that I started installing. I just didn't have any service, and I just wasn't exposed to that. And Tim Edick was my rep in Columbus, and just spot on. Was able to help me with so much, help me grow.
So you started using a product that didn't have someone to rep to back it up.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck's the deal here?
Yeah.
You should have a representative out here. Yeah.
100%.
And now you're playing the role of what you seeing missing when you first started out.
Exactly.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and it's like being in the industry. It's like I want to help guys. Like learn from what I'm saying, the mistakes that we've all made mistakes as contractors. You know what I'm saying? Like learn from that. Like we're coaches, we're teachers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can tell these guys, hey, I was 17 years old and I signed up for my first patio.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted to get walked through it and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So that's why I'm here for you, man. That's why you kill it at the customer service, man, because you were on that end of it. And you've seen that. You were a contractor out there struggling, looking for help from someone.
Yeah.
So plenty of resources out there, guys. Hardscape Mentor, I would say, is a big one for you, but another really big one is these territory reps for Unilock. I cannot say enough about my experiences with them in Wisconsin, in Tennessee, in Ohio. I've dealt with all of them, and it just seems to be top-notch guys and ladies across the board.
Yeah.
Like I just. The hiring process has to be a stringent one because I haven't met anybody from Unilock who doesn't hold the high
100%,
level, right?
100%.
So thank you so much for being with us, Andy.
Yeah.
I just had to let everybody know that a really good resource for you is these boots on the ground. An amazing partner with Hardscape Mentor is Unilock, and thank you, Andy, for being in the booth with us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for telling us that we should not be intimidated to call that salesman out there. If you're working through a new Ucara wall system, be sure to get a hold of your territory reps. So we'll let Andy get back to manning his booth over there, and we'll continue on with ours. But thank you so much for being with us, man.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome.